Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at Comaik. In this video, I want to show you how I transfer the hard drives from my old QNAP TS421 NAS to the new QNAP NAS TS664 along with all the data. If you're interested, stay tuned, we're about to get started. My old NAS, the QNAP TS421, has served me for many years as a reliable data storage. It serves as my media server and handles many background processes in my house. The hard drives have a capacity of 4 TB each. I have installed 4 of them in a RAID 5 array in the device, however the storage space is almost completely used up. I could simply replace the hard drives with larger models. However, I have to say that the device is getting a bit old. The 1 GB of RAM in this device cannot be upgraded, and the CPU performance is also relatively weak by today's standards. For this reason, I decided to get a new NAS. This QNAP TS664 offers significantly higher performance and can also accommodate up to 6+2 hard drives. Today I will transfer the hard drives with the data from the old NAS directly into the QNAP NAS. Once that works, I will expand the server with additional hard drives, such as this 18 TB hard drive. I will also upgrade the RAM of the TS664. According to the manufacturer, the RAM is limited to a maximum of 16 GB. Of that, 4 GB are already installed at the factory. However, I plan to upgrade the RAM to 32 GB. I'm curious to see if I can manage that, but before I start, I want to first show you what preparations are necessary to transfer the hard drives 1.1 into the new QNAP NAS. Since not all QNAP NAS systems are compatible with each other, QNAP offers its own website where you can check whether a migration is possible. I'll put the link for you below the video in the description. On the website, I first enter the operating system that both NAS systems must have. In my case, it's QTS. If you're not sure, you can check this via the web interface of the old NAS. The source NAS is equipped with 4 drives and the model number is 421. The target NAS has 6 drives and the model number is TS664. As you can see, the system has already given me a green check mark, which means I can migrate the hard drives from my old TS421 to the TS664. In the second step, some settings on the source NAS will need to be checked and, if necessary, adjusted accordingly. To do this, log into the NAS web interface and go to the tile control panel. In the control panel, you should first check the firmware, and if the firmware is not up to date, it must be updated to the latest version. If you are using a cache, for example with SSD drives, it must be deactivated in the corresponding settings. In my case, this function is not available because my old QNAP NAS does not support cache. In the App Center, you should deactivate the licenses for any purchased or subscribed apps. The apps are linked to the device and cannot be directly transferred to the new NAS. They must first be deactivated and then reactivated on the new device. Also, this is not available for me because I do not run such apps on this server. The fourth point is backing up the settings for user accounts, server name and network configuration. Basically, the new NAS will take over the settings from the old QNAP, but to be on the safe side, I click on Backups and have quickly created a bin file. Those were all the preparations that are necessary. Now the hard drives from the old NAS can be directly installed into the new NAS. The old hard drives can now be removed from the source NAS. It is important to make sure that the order in which the hard drives were installed in the old NAS is definitely maintained. For this reason, I will put a mark on the hard drive so that I don't mix them up. After I placed the hard drives into the new trays and screwed them in, I was able to simply slide them into the new NAS in the correct order. Before I start up the NAS, I will first proceed to install QFinder Pro. This essential program can be readily found on the official website of QNAP. Specifically under the support section and then navigating to desktop utilities, QFinder Pro is conveniently available for download. Various operating systems. I have already installed the program, and you can see that QFinder automatically scans the network for a QNAP NAS. So far, the program hasn't found anything yet. I will now start up the QNAP TS664. Once the boot process is complete, QFinder has found the QNAP on the network and displayed it in the user interface. The status shows me that the migration of the hard drives was completed successfully. It is also recommended that I update the firmware. I can do that directly. Using this button, when logging in, I enter my user data from the old NAS. QFinder Pro offers to automatically update the firmware to the latest version. I select this option for my new NAS, the QNAP TS664. The firmware update was completed successfully. The message that the SMTP server has not yet been configured appears automatically. This message asks whether the server should be set up now. It is important to absolutely confirm this request with no. The server must not be configured at this point. As soon as the boot process after the firmware update is complete, I can log into the QNAP web interface using the IP address. From QFinder, the password is the same as on the old NAS. The system provides some notes, which I will address later. In the control center, my hard drives are displayed, and in terms of data usage relative to the total capacity, nothing has changed. My data was transferred 1.1. In File Station, my folders and the files contained within them are also visible. My mapped drives in the Windows folder are still present as well. I can access all files without having to make any adjustments. Although basically all functions are available, I will take my time to get familiar with the new system. After all, the new QNAP TS664 NAS offers significantly more features than my old system. But first, I will make some adjustments to the system. Among other things, I will change the name and also check the user permissions. In the storage overview, my 4 hard drives are visible. The available capacities, the free bays for the 5th and 6th slots can be seen here. These are the SSD slots for the cache. The migration from the old QNAP TS421 to the QNAP TS664 took about 20 to 30 minutes. The new system runs quickly and stably, even though some analysis programs are still running in the background. As soon as these are finished, I will continue and expand the storage capacity of the new QNAP TS664 by installing larger hard drives as well as the SSD drives. Also, the RAM will be upgraded once the system is running stably. If you want to see how I upgrade the hard drives and adjust the RAID and how I get the RAM running beyond the officially allowed 16 GB, then subscribe to my channel now. Click the subscribe button at the bottom right corner. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked my video. I'm already looking forward to the next video and hope you'll join me. Until then, take care. Bye.